It's fun to talk about.
Speaking of J-Mo, have you read the J-Mo stuff in the papers that he is going to what? There are some writers out there. I think it was Jeff Risdon who said that he's going to get paid before we know it. It could happen any time that they will extend Jamison Williams.
Wow.
Yeah, he's had a hell of an offseason. Graduated from Wayne State this past offseason. And
I'm familiar with that
looks
place.
like he's been hitting the gym. I mean, there is a noticeable bulk to him at this point. Haven't read anything bad about him. No driving on 6 Mile late at night. No performance-enhancing substances or any other negative story.
He's just showing up at games. He's showing up at Tiger games. He was at Pistons games. He's loving Detroit. He's like fitting in.
So now I'm going to be part of the conversation like you just said.
Yep.
I gave our boy Justin, are you familiar with Justin's work?
Oh, yes.
I gave our boy Justin $10 and to put it on a Offensive Player of the Year prop bet with Jamison Williams.
How about that?
I put 10. The odds were astronomical, so I said, why don't I just throw $10 at it?
That's awesome.
Yeah, so
1,700 to 1.
I forget.
That'll
Justin,
be something good to chase.
But like Justin and I were
look it
talking
up.
about it, and I looked at him. I said, "Dude, are you putting money on that?" He was like, "Yeah." I said, "Here's 10," and I threw $10 at him. I said, "Please throw $10 on that for me."
You said Offensive Player of the Year?
Offensive Player of the
Gotcha.
Year. I mean, look, it's a long shot.
Who cares?
But
Something to chase.
if all this hype is out there, there's a reason it's out there.
Yes.
And I think just by virtue of he plays with the Burger King offense, I think that limits what he can do. Because it really is. It's a have it your way offense.
Yeah, there's many people.
You want to focus on Sam Laporta. Have you met Jahmyr Gibbs? You guys are going to put the guys in the box? Well, there's J-Mo. We'll let J-Mo take a little rundown. So it's not the offense that lends itself to a guy going over the top. But with all the hype that you just spoke of, Anson, I thought to myself, why not? It's $10. Here you go.
Well, and who knows? We've never seen this guy play 17 games.
Yeah.
And when you have to sit and you have to answer questions and all of the drama that's going around the separate incidents that he had, it's hard to keep your head in the game. It's hard to not have any rust for the couple of weeks that you're off. But in terms of hype, I have hyped up today's prize package. Pete, you want to pan down a little bit?
Yeah, hang on.
Courtesy of the legend in the chat, Mr. Freddie Feld himself, on the anniversary, as Maz pointed out, of Justin Verlander's first ever no-hitter. We got this awesome Verlander. I'll call it an action figure.
Yeah.
So that's in there along with the Wahlburgers t-shirt as well as the card package. So guys, let's see your super chats. Of course, we'll read them live.
Sean, I got something for you. I don't get to hear your opinion a lot anymore.
All right.
I know Anson's, I know Braylon's, I know Ryan's, I know the boys. Frank Ragnow, not on this team anymore. Kevin Zeitler, they let him be. The way that line is now, are the Lions as good today as they were last year on the offense?
No. I don't. You can't understate. Frank Ragnow leaving. You can't. That doesn't mean by the end of the year the continuity is established. That doesn't mean that there's a new anchor in there. But this argument, I'm glad that you brought that up because I was talking to the guys at Big D Energy about this. So let me get this straight. Out of one side of our mouth, we told anybody that would listen the last 2 years, he is, if not the second best, the best center in the game, right?
Correct.
Right.
Now he's off the team, and you're going to tell me everything's okay.
Exactly.
No, stop. Before you yell at me, I'm not saying that they can't win the North. I'm not saying that they can't win the NFC. I'm not saying they can't win a Super Bowl. All those things are still in play, and they should be in play. More on that. But if we're going to tell everybody, we're going to stick our chests out and tell everybody, we got the best center in the game. And if not the best center, one of the best centers in the game. And then he's gone? No, it doesn't. You can't undersell that. Man.
Right.
How good was he, and maybe I should say how healthy was he when the playoffs came around?
He was too darn beat up.
Exactly.
He
And
would.
where
he would say
would we
the same
be
thing.
with him this year? In the same spot or worse? So yes, it's a blow. You know, it sucks losing a guy that's that good, that has the track record he has, and the chemistry that he has with the line that we've had together for the last couple of years.
Yep.
But I look at the opportunity to get these young guys into the line from week one, because 15 wins doesn't mean anything if you're not healthy when the playoffs come around.
Couldn't agree more.
And to me, yes, we might only win 10 games because of it. But I think that this team will be better suited for the playoffs with a young line, and they'll be better suited going forward. And I know Maz is tired of hearing this because I've said it a bunch of times, but I firmly believe it. And I believe it because I think Brad and Dan knew this was coming, and that's why they drafted Tate. So to me, they were prepared. So we have to trust in Dan and Brad. We will be fine.
I'm convinced they were prepared for next year.
Yes.
I'm convinced. I know we'll never find out the truth, but I'm convinced.
No, you're right.
I'm convinced that they thought it was coming next year, because the one thing that you have to remember about Brad and Dan is they don't like putting rookies in high leverage situations. They're kind of old school. For our generation, Bill Parcells, Maz,
That's the way it should be.
hated rookies.
Yeah.
Guy hated rookies, right? I'm not saying that
Except
they hate
LT.
rookies. See, and the way you said it when you take the screwdriver to it, I agree. What is right now, today, nobody can tell me that the Lions' offensive line is just as good.
Right.
Let's see how that continuity and chemistry builds during the year. So in mid-January, yeah, maybe we're having that conversation where, and look, I don't give a crap about 15-2. I don't.
neither.
Look, I love what Amon-Ra said. It's Super Bowl or bust, period. Period. Anything that happens before then, it doesn't mean go 17-0. I don't give two craps. But go full on New England Patriots. I don't care. And I think, should we all be at that point right now?
How are you?
We have that sound,
I
by
think
the way.
so.
Oh,
Let's play
run
it. Let's hear. St. Brown.
St. Brown?
Yeah.
I think for us, it's Super Bowl or nothing. I mean, at this point, we want to win the Super Bowl. That's it. Obviously, you got to make the playoffs to win the Super Bowl, but that's understood by everyone. So we want to win the Super Bowl, plain and simple. I love it. More primetime games is something that I love. You play good teams; they want to put you on the big screen. So I think it's a great challenge for us. You know, if we do make the playoffs, getting into the playoffs, playing teams like that get you ready for playoff football. I mean, each week you want to you want to go get battle tested. I think we're going to get that each and every week this year, which is great. We've got some tough road games, some tough home games. So I'm excited for it. You love going against good teams because, you think you're a good team yourself until you go against a good one and they challenge you. So we're excited for it. I know Coach Campbell is too. So it's going to be a fun training camp, fun season.
Love it. Love it. Like you guys, I'm going to appeal to everybody out there. Not everybody, because some of you, we got to stop being bitches. Am I allowed to say that?
Yes.
Female dogs. Let's talk about female dogs.
Yes, we got to stop being female
Eric
dogs. No, but you know what? You guys, this team, I always go back to last year. Remember before the Green Bay game at Green Bay? Everybody was talking about, oh no, the weather, it's going to rain for 3 days and whatever will we do? And Dan Campbell came out and said, man, we love this. We're built for this. We want this. And then the most beautiful thing about it, you know who looked like they weren't built for it? Jordan Love and the Green Bay Packers.
Yes, sir.
This franchise is different now, man.
Right.
This is a franchise. Well, I don't know. This is graded one of the most difficult schedules ever. Embrace it. That's what these guys are doing. And Anson, again, if you're one of those people you're expecting 15-2, my jaw would drop if this team went 15-2.
Right.
It would legitimately drop. You know what? 12-5, 11-6. Find a way to win this division and then make your bread come playoff time. And I'm going to tell everybody out there the same damn thing I've said on Big D Energy 1,000 times. Stop it with this. Oh, no, they're going the other way. Remember a year ago at this time? Nick Sirianni was going to lose his job.
Yeah.
It was over. Blow up the Eagles. They had their window. Stop it. It doesn't work that way. When you have a good franchise, you have a good culture, you have quality players in place, you're going to stay in the mix.
Yep.
That's correct.
You're killing it right now, and Freddie felt he wanted Super Chat to double down on that. Sean B is a legend. He says he needs to meet you next time. I guess my question is what the hell happened, Detroit? You guys were all sucking on the teat with complete confidence that this team down 22 defenders was going to roll through the Super Bowl and win their first championship. And now, here we are, one retirement and a handful of months later, and guys are worried that we're going to win the division, maybe not even win 10 games. It's so hard for me to see what Dan and Brad have done and realize that Detroit Lions fans still don't believe. Now, I'm Mr. SOL. I have a bar where you have to get to the Super Bowl. But I've been reading stuff talking about Dan Campbell's job if they don't get to the Super Bowl and all this kind of stuff. Like, I don't know how short your memory is, guys. But did you forget what this franchise was before Dan and Brad got here? They might not win a Super Bowl this year, but they'll be in the playoffs. And they'll be in the playoffs again the year after. And the year after. And that is what the Fords wanted when they brought this dream team together.
Yep.
All right, that takes me to this question now. To Sean. I already know your answer. You despise when I even bring it up. What am I going to bring up?
Hockey?
Trey Hendrickson. I'm going to bring up Trey Hendrickson's name because I have not gotten Sean's opinion on it. Now, guys like me and Pete, some fans out there, fanatics, call us whatever, you look at a guy like him, you know the Bengals have screwed it up.
Right.
And they continue to screw it up. And he is not a happy camper. He will not play without a new contract.
That's right.
Is it worth even thinking about going after this guy? Forget that. If you were Brad Holmes, would you sign this man?
I would say we can't give you the long-term deal that you're looking for, but if you absolutely positively have to get out of Cincinnati, we're going to give you a big, beautiful home and let you plan for your next contract. And then he'll laugh at them and, I get it. It's a pipe dream. Like, I hope I'm not being disrespectful.
No,
to you,
I
Mads.
don't care.
Like
Just throwing it out there.
I don't think the Lions could make that work for the long term. I think they're in a position that they know they have some contracts coming up, especially if the stuff that Risden said about J-Mo is true. Because let's be honest, there were a lot of people saying that he might be the one left out in the rain.
Right.
I love the idea. Oh my gosh, I look, Za'Darius is coming back. We all know that now, right?
I hope so.
He's coming back. There's no doubt in my mind. Did you see the clip that was
I
making
did.
the rounds?
He's not letting his Detroit girlfriend dress him
Cash
so
doll.
that he can leave to go somewhere else.
That's awesome. And let's be honest, we've all been dressed before.
Only when they're inspiring, brother.
There's no doubt about
Man.
that. But Maz, I love the idea. I love it. But I just don't think the schematics of it work.
So you're all right when he goes to the Eagles then?
I don't think they could make that work long term.
But they could make it work this year.
They're
They
playing
can make it work. See, that's what I'm saying. If you want to do the this year thing, come into my bosom. But I don't think he's going to do that. I don't think he's going to do that.
You don't think Howie Roseman will? He got rid of about 6 players off the Super Bowl team already. He's
gonna
freeing
have
up
to-
money.
He's going to have some big decisions coming up too. I mean, think about some of the guys he's
But
got.
they've won Super Bowls.
Yeah, 1,000%, and that's all that matters.
Yeah.
For me,
but they've won.
I told you, win one, I'm
Yeah.
done.
And what
I
do
will
you-
never cry about this
Me
team
too.
again, ever.
And what has Philly done for the last decade?
Win.
Make the playoffs.
Win.
Give themselves a puncher's chance
to win.
to be playing in February. I'll have to look back, but out of the last 10 years, I can't really think of them missing the playoffs more than once, maybe.
I am so glad that we're out of the Jim Caldwell years. You guys know this.
Gentleman Jim Caldwell.
I am so glad that we're out of the years where we are like celebrating the absolute bare minimum around here. I'm so glad we're done with it.
I agree.
2014 could have been different, though.
Yeah, that stinks. It really does.
Really.
you wasted a damn good defense.
Damn good.
They wasted a
Well,
damn good
they got hoodwinked.
Yeah.
7 of the last 8 years, Philly has been in the playoffs, which has resulted in 2 rings. So I see people in the chat, and people get really upset when I say, because you hear the debate.
Howie's the best GM in the league.
But do you want a really good team for years, or do you want one Super Bowl? And I hear so many people say, man, if we could have one Super Bowl, I'll go back to 50 years of not making the playoffs. But
That's not how it
the thing
happens.
that those people fail to realize is that it's not just 53 players and some coaches. It's ownership. And they've got bills to pay and a stadium to fill and relevance to maintain. And if you can put together a culture and draft and develop players the way that they have on all 3 accounts, where you are a perennial team in the conversation, at some point